Mm. This is Sunday Jessica. Saturday Jessica wears a scarf. Sunday Jessica is wearing her glasses and drinking naked Mighty Mango. So hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Jess with another video. Um, Apparently I love top tens and love giving you guys top tens. So here we are again. Um, yeah. Apparently that's my jam. TBRs, wrap ups, and top tens. I need to start doing more individual book reviews again too. I'm going to switch up the variety. I promise. I promise. I just like again. I'm trying to get my bandwidth. I'm trying to figure out what I have time for, what I will make time and space and energy for now that I'm, working Monday through Friday. But yeah, we're doing a top 10 of my favorite romantic movies of all time. We should be doing a top 10 of my favorite romance novels of all time, but I don't have a top 10 favorite romances of all time, despite how much I read romances and like romances. I tend to be pretty disappointed by a lot of traditionally published romances. Fanfic, on the other hand, rarely lets me down. And when it does, I can easily find something else to replace it. Or that's what you know what that's what this video should have been. It should have been my top 10 favorite fanfics of all time. Oh my god. You know what? We'll do that in June. We'll do it in June for Pride Month. But for now, we're gonna do our top 10 favorite romantic films of all time. Okay, coming in at number 10 is a movie from the 50s called The Opposite of Sex, starring June Allison. I absolutely love this fucking movie. I absolutely love this movie. It's about a rich high society woman who used to be an actress on Broadway. Her husband is a well-renowned producer on Broadway, and she used to be an actress because she gave all that up to be a housewife and mother to their children. And she is very sweet and very nice, but she functions within this world of high society rich white ladies who do nothing but gossip bitterly about each other and tell each other's business. It's by the way, this is a romantic comedy and it's absolutely hilarious. I find it fucking hilarious. But anyway, I say all that to say that she finds out her husband is cheating on her through these bitter ass women, through the telephone gossip of these bitter ass women. And her husband is cheating on her with the girl who works the perfume counter at this very high end department store, played by a very young Joan Collins, I believe. And I think her character's name is Crystal. I think it's her name. Her character's name is Crystal. But anyway, back then, or I think it still even happens now, but apparently back then, when your dirt got out there, and or potential scandal got out there, you ran and hot, you ran and hid. You disappeared somewhere off the grid for like a little bit, letting all the gossip die down before coming back your brand new, non-scandaled having self. So that's what our girl does. Our girl June Allison, in her indecisiveness to figure out whether or not she wants to stay with her husband, leave her husband, confront him about this woman, or cheat on him her damn self, decides to go to this all women's retreat up in, I think, the Catskills. Her bitchiest, most evil, backstabby friend ends up there too because it turns out her man ain't shit neither. um, and I think her husband is played by Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, I think airplane naked gun Leslie Nielsen plays her husband. He's not there for the first like 2/3 of the movie. You don't see him, and then he pops up in the last third. I wouldn't call it a musical. There are musical numbers in it, but it's not overwrought with it. Like there aren't huge dance numbers, and there aren't like a lot of solo singing. There's the occasional song or two, but for the most part, I don't think I wouldn't call it a musical. It's more of a 1950s sex comedy, and I absolutely adore it. Number 10 on this list is The Half of It. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, the half of it is just mid. It's mediocre. It's a high school, it's a queer high school uh, retelling of the Cyrano de Bergerac story, with a Chinese American girl as the Cyrano character. What I got from it, why I absolutely love this movie, ended up loving it and cried at the end, is because even though there is a romantic love at the center of it, to me, what got me was the romance, not romance, excuse me, I'm already talking out of turn, but what got me was the love between Ellie and Paul's character. Okay, so like I said, it's a queer retelling, queer high school retelling of the Cyrano story. Ellie is a closeted lesbian who lives in a small town in Washington, a small religious town in Washington state. And she is pretty much known throughout the school that she will write your paper for a price. And knowing that Paul, who is this total himbo on the football team, on their terrible football team, um, knowing that Paul kind of accosts her into helping him write love letters to the most popular girl in school, Aster, who he's in love with, who has a boyfriend, by the way. And it just so happens that Ellie is also in love with Aster. Um, and which is why she agrees to help Paul, and because he won't stop badgering her, and he's really sweet, and like I said, total himbo, love him. But the love story between the two of them building a friendship and becoming very close friends, that's the thing that got me. That's the thing that had me crying at the end. That's the thing that I took away from the movie the most. I absolutely loved it. Like, at one point Paul shifts his feelings for Aster to Ellie as their friendship grows, and then Ellie's just kind of like, no, sorry, I don't want that, and he's, all apologetic. He's very he's very sorry that he came on to her, blah blah blah, and she's just like, it has nothing to do with you. I totally understand where you were coming from. I just want to keep this platonic, and that's when she comes out to him. And again, they live in a small religious town. The homie takes her coming out very disrespectfully, which I was not a fan of. But he comes back, he fixes himself, he comes back, and they fix their friendship. He realizes he was wrong, and he does the right thing. And that's all that mattered to me. But the ending, when they have to say goodbye to each other, that's the part that made me cry. That's the part that killed me, and that's the part that made me go, okay, yeah, this movie's mid, but this part, this story between Paul and Ellie, I love it. I want more. I want more stories about men and women being friends and just friends. Number 8 on this list is Brokeback Mountain. I read the short story, or is it a novella? It's very short. I can't remember if it's a short story or a novella. I think it's a novella. But I read it in college, and the movie came out when I was in college as well. So as soon as the movie came out, and it was a big deal. I mean, I have seen tons of queer media before Brokeback Mountain, after Brokeback Mountain. But Brokeback Mountain was a big deal because it was very mainstream at the time, about these two men who fall in love. Yeah, it was a period piece. Which is also why it was a big deal as well, and why I think it was more accepted in 2005 at the time. And I made a point to go see it, and I knew I would like it. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger are incredible actors, and Ang Lee is like seriously one of my favorite directors, even though he's been doing some crap lately. I knew I would like it, but I didn't think I would end up loving it, and I did. I really loved it. I thought it was beautiful, and that movie kind of introduced Anne Hathaway to me. I was kind of aware of her at the time, but that was the movie that I think, stratosphered my girl. And she's seriously one of my favorite actresses. I really love her. I know everybody hates her, but I love her. I think she's great. And I think she's incredibly talented and really beautiful. But anyway, Brokeback Mountain is number 8 on this list. I absolutely love that film. It is heartbreaking. It is beautiful. It is sad. Every single fucking performance in it is incredible. And it's beautifully shot. Like, it's great. Number 7 on this list is my favorite Ryan Gosling film, and probably my favorite Michelle Williams film, Blue Valentine. It is, let me just tell you guys right off the bat, this movie is, you're not going to get a happy ending. If you watch it, just know it going right off the bat, you're not getting a happy ending. It is very sad. It's tragic. Well, not tragic, but it's very sad. I think it's probably one of the most realistic depictions of a marriage, a broken marriage, I've seen in media. I love it. Um, it's just raw and very indie and very intense. Whenever people are like, "Oh, I love The Notebook," I'm like, "Yeah, but have you seen Ryan Gosling in Blue Valentine?" Fuck The Notebook. I hate The Notebook. But have you seen Blue Valentine? Ryan Gosling plays this very dramatic romantic. He just believes in soulmates and happily ever after and the one, and you know living and dying and breathing for another person, and finding the other half of your soul, all of that. And he believes when he meets Michelle Williams that she is it for him. At the time that he meets her, she figures out that she is pregnant because she and her ex-boyfriend had sex right before they broke up. And she's just starting to date Ryan Gosling's character. And she reveals this to him, and because he's just so enamored with her, so in love, and he believes that she's the other half of his soul, she is the person he is meant to spend the rest of his life with, he's like, fuck it, let's do this. You and me, we're raising this kid as ours. It's our baby. Like, let's do this. And she's just so overcome with the gesture. She's just so in love with the fact that he would be so okay and so gung-ho and so happy about this, and want to raise her baby that she's pregnant with from another man, that she's just like in love with him. But as the years go on, it turns out that no, she was never really in love with him. She was in love with the gesture. And their marriage is falling apart. It is breaking down. And a lot of it is, I would say, from my perspective, a lot of it is her fault. She's just, she's a ghost in this marriage. And he's given his all, he's trying his best, and him trying and not really getting anywhere with her is causing him to have emotional issues. And she's not fully explaining why she's not happy and wants to be with him. She's just going through the motions. And then on top of that, she may or may not be having an affair with her boss. And so their whole relationship is just crumbling and breaking down. And that fight at the end that they have, where they're screaming at each other and they're just like ending everything, it's just heartbreaking. It's just so fucking sad. But everybody in the movie is acting their ass off. It's incredible. I love it. It has one of my favorite sex scenes in it of all time. There's a scene where he goes down on her, and it is very realistic looking. So, but I still count it as a romantic film because it really just shows you that, like, how a relationship can deteriorate over time when two people are so different, when two people want two different things, when two people grow apart. Okay. Number 6 on this list is His Girl Friday. It is a movie starring Cary Grant and Rosalind Russell. I absolutely love Rosalind Russell. Again, old film from Turner Classic Movies. Warner Brothers owns Turner Classic Movies, so all their films are on HBO Max. So anything I'm mentioning here, you could totally watch on HBO Max under their like Turner Classic Movie like little sub head or whatever. I don't know, but it's on HBO Max. Anyway, His Girl Friday, Rosalind Russell plays this investigative reporter who works for her ex-husband, who is also her editor. And she wants to quit because she is getting married. She just got engaged to this like insurance salesman or insurance manager or something like that. Anyway, and that sparks a thing in him where he realizes, holy shit, I'm still in love with her. She's still the most wonderful person in the planet. I can't believe I ever let her go. I can't let her marry this dude. And I can't let her quit journalism because she's too fucking good at it and she's my best reporter. So the whole film is about him attempting to get her to stay. Hijinks ensue, yada, yada, yada. It's a romantic comedy from the 40s. But the thing I love the most about this film, the thing that I always take away from it, is that snappy 1940s dialogue. Like, the banter is so good. It's so good. Yeah, that sarcasm, the jokes, the one-liners, the quippy one-liners, like every ounce of dialogue is a joke. I absolutely love that. I wish I could write like that. But I absolutely love the dialogue in that film. they're such dicks to each other, but also you can tell that they're still just very much in love with one another, and I love it. It's great. It's legit one of my all-time favorite movies. Not even just one of my all-time favorite romantic films, one of my all-time favorite films. 5 on this list is Overboard, starring Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. This movie is totally 80s. It's very goofy, and I absolutely love it. Goldie Hawn plays this rich bitch, and I do mean bitch, who is having like a shoe closet installed on her yacht. And Kurt Russell is a carpenter that she hires to come in and do it. And she's giving him shit, and then so he's just like, I ain't dealing with this, so he gives it right back to her, and she gets pissed because nobody talks to her like that, because she's this wealthy heiress who does whatever the fuck she wants and says whatever the fuck she wants. So she takes his tools and throws them overboard. He has to go down into the water and get them, and as she does, she tells the captain, she tells the captain to start the boat, and she takes off without even paying him. He did all this work and she doesn't fucking pay him. And he's just like, what the fuck? And she's just like, as the boat's taken off. And the boat gets caught up in a storm. She gets tossed overboard and winds up in this hospital with amnesia. And her husband, who she has berated and henpecked their entire marriage, sees that she's like, he didn't even know she was missing. So he sees on the news that, she got washed ashore. This hospital found her. She has amnesia. If anybody knows her, to come collect her. And he's just like, I don't want that bitch back. Deuces. And homie doesn't even claim her. Just pieces out. Kurt Russell, on the other hand, sees the same news story. And he's just like, that's that rich cunt that owes me money. I'm going to get my money. Or, better yet, I'm going to get my time back. And so that's what he does. He goes to the hospital, claims to be her husband. The hospital staff can't stand her. She may not remember who she is, but she definitely continues to act like who she was. And the hospital staff can't stand her. And him just coming to claim her is enough. And they're like, take this bitch. Please go. Like, get her out of here. So he takes her back home to his 2-story shack, because that's what it is. It's a 2-story fucking shack with his 3 badass sons. Terrible little monster kids. And he's just like, welcome home, bitch. Like, these are your kids. This is our house. Get to cleaning. And I know that's horrible. That movie could never be made today. I know they tried to remake it and gender swap or gender reverse the roles. It looked terrible. I heard it was terrible. I was not even going to bother because, again, Overboard is one of my all-time favorite films and one of my all-time favorite romantic films. So I'm not here for any remakes, especially ones that look like trash. So anyway, the movie's not PC whatsoever. But I don't care. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. It's hilarious. I love that Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell are a real life couple, and this is the film that I can't remember if they were together when they did the film or they got together doing this film. Oh, I think they got together during the making of this film. I can't remember. I think they did. So she ends up living there with them. He treats her like a maid and a neglected housewife the whole time, but then he grows to like her as she, calms down and becomes more of a mother and a wife to their family. And he eventually ends up really falling in love with her, but then he knows he can't keep her. At some point she's going to get her memory back or somebody's going to come looking for her ass. And so he's trying very hard not to fall in love with her, but he is in love with her. And she, believing that they're married, she accepts herself being in love with him and their family and their sons. And it's goofy, it's corny, it's silly. I absolutely love it. I've seen it 1,000,001 times and I will continue to watch it 1,000,002 more. Love it. If you haven't seen Overboard, watch it. It's great. Number 4 on this list is 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Okay. This is quite possibly my favorite musical of all time. Sorry, I was trying to think if I love this more than The Unsinkable Molly Brown, which is also one of my favorite musicals of all time. And West Side Story. No, I think it's 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. So these 8 men, these 8 brothers, they're orphans because their parents are dead. They live in this giant cabin up in the snowy mountains. in like, I think like Colorado, Wyoming, something like that. And the older brother leaves to go into to either go, I don't think he goes into town for that long. I don't know. He leaves. He leaves for a time. And when he's gone, he comes back with, I think her name is Millie. I haven't seen it in a minute. I've seen it a million and one times, but I haven't seen it in a minute to remember the characters' names. Sorry, and there's a lot of characters. He comes back with Millie, who is his bride. And at first, his brothers are just kind of like, what the fuck, you brought a woman here? Like, what? And they're really disrespectful to her, and she's having a hard time adjusting to their rugged life because she's from the city that's down at the mountain. This all takes place during, like, I think 1800s gold rush time, by the way, which is why, you know, him going to town is like a whole month's journey. So why he has time to meet a woman, fall in love, and marry her. Yeah, Millie's having a hard time adjusting and blah blah, but she eventually gains their respect and their love, and they see her as, you know, this really sweet, protective sister, and they end up getting a little jealous and lonely, and their loneliness ends up in the forefront because they realize, oh, I kind of want a girl too. Like, I didn't realize how lonely I was until Millie showed up. So Millie's like, well, you know, when spring comes, like, we can go down to the mountain into town, and, you know, I'll teach you how to talk to girls and meet them and all that kind of stuff. And they're super excited. So she gets them all cleaned up and in nice clothes and teaches them, you know, how to be mannerly and gentlemanly and all that kind of stuff. So when they go into town, they can talk to girls. And they do. They each find a girl that they like, that they talk to, and they flirt with and all this kind of stuff. But the city boys don't like that. They don't like that the rugged mountain boys are down talking to their ladies. So shit happens. A scuffle ensues. So the 7 brothers get into a fight with the 7 city boys over the girls, and it's just chaos and mayhem. And Millie's pissed off because she's like, I taught you guys better than this. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's not how you get girls. You should just let it go. And they're like, that's not who we are. Like, 10 toes down. They stepped to us, we stepped back. You want us to sit here like punks? Not doing it. They misinterpret their older brother's advice, and they take it as, just go down there and get your ladies. And they fucking do that. They go down to the mountain, they each kidnap a girl that they like, that they were flirting with, create an avalanche so nobody can get in or out until the snow thaws. So that's an entire season. So they have to wait till the summer for the girls to even be released. The girls are terrified at first, and they're pissed off, and they're really mean and nasty to the boys, but they're there for an entire fucking season because, again, avalanche, no way in, no way out. And again, 1800s. Eventually, like the snow thawing, so does the girls, and they fall in love with the boys, and they all fall in love with each other, and yada yada yada. But the snow thawed, so now the townspeople who can get in, and so all these fathers are rushing up to mountain to rescue their daughters away from these big bad boys who kidnap them. It's ridiculous. It's goofy. I absolutely love it. The way how well the movie is, you know, written, directed, all the musical numbers I love, all the acting is fantastic. How great the movie is, it sells it to you. Like, you buy it, you love it, and you absolutely want to see this happen. Like, by the end of it, you're just kind of like, yes, I want all of them married. Number 3 on this list is the movie Atonement. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, one of the reasons, or if the biggest, not the biggest reason why I love this film, is because it is beautifully shot. I mean, the art direction, the set design, the costume design, the cinematography, like, it's all gorgeous. Like, the production design, it's all gorgeous. So the film is about this very wealthy family, and in the very wealthy family is an older brother. I cannot remember the character's name and the actor who plays his name, which is embarrassing because I actually really like him. Anyway, so there's an older brother. There is a middle sister named Cece, played by, her name's Cecilia, but she's called Cece, played by Keira Knightley in the past. And there is a younger sister named Bryony, who's played by Vanessa Redgrave in the future. In the past, she's played by, I'm going to butcher her name, and I'm so sorry, but I'll put it up on the screen. Swasha Ronan? Swasha Ronan. I fuck up her name all the time. She plays the younger version of Vanessa Redgrave's character, Bryony. So there's those 3 siblings. Keira Knightley's character Cece is going through a bit of a crisis because she discovers that she is in love and has been in love damn near her entire life with the butler's son, played by James McAvoy. And he's also been very much in love with him, but their class differences will never allow them to have a successful relationship with each other, despite how much they want each other and they're in love with each other. So, and one night during this dinner party, they confess their feelings to each other and they have sex. Unfortunately, they are walked in on by Cece's younger sister, Bryony, who is devastated by what she sees because she is also very much in love with James McAvoy's character. So she is fucking devastated by this whole thing. She's just like, oh my God, like, my sister is fucking the boy that I'm in love with, despite him being years older than her. So, also, by the way, Juno Temple and Benedict Cumberbatch are in this film. Juno Temple plays their cousin, and Benedict Cumberbatch is a wealthy businessman who is a friend of their older brother. Meanwhile, Juno Temple's younger brothers, these 2 twin boys who are also there, they run off and disappear, and so everyone and their mom is trying to find them because like they have no idea where they went. So everybody's got a flashlight and they're out in the woods on this giant, like, you know, English estate, on this English country home looking for these boys. And as they're looking for them, Bryony's character comes upon Juno Temple and Benedict Cumberbatch's character having sex in the forest. She freaks out, runs off. James McAvoy, in the meantime, finds the 2 little boys and brings them to the house. As he's coming to the house, everybody's outside the house scowling at him, and the police are there. And he's just like, what the fuck is happening? The police arrest him and take him to jail for the rape of Juno Temple's character, because Bryony's character tells everyone that she caught him having sex with her in the woods. And Juno Temple's character and Benedict Cumberbatch's character don't say a damn fucking thing because they don't want to get caught up in that. But Bryony, being upset with what happened between her sister and James McAvoy's character, decides to finger him for Juno Temple's rape. And Keira Knightley's character is devastated because she knows in her heart of hearts he did not fucking do this, and her little sister is lying. And from that moment on, her relationship with her little sister just deteriorates. It doesn't even deteriorate, it fucking ends. She's like, I know you're fucking lying about this, you little bitch, and you can die. And I don't want to spoil anything else that happens in the film. That is just the first half of it. That is the first part that gets you to the rest of it. But yeah, that's the first half of it. I don't want to spoil the second half of it. But it gets even juicier from there. And I'm so mad that I saw the movie before I even realized that it was based on a book, before I even read the book. I actually should buy the book and read it any fucking way. I really fucking should. But I love that film. It's so goddamn good. The second film on this list is Moonstruck. Moonstruck is amazing. Moonstruck, mermaids, tea with Mussolini, mask. I feel like I'm forgetting another one. I don't know. But Cher is a fantastic actress and does not get enough credit for how brilliant she is and how fantastic and great she is. Like, she needs her flowers. She does have her musical and gay icon flowers, but she needs her acting flowers as well. I mean, I know she got an Oscar for Moonstruck, but I need more public recognition. It's about this Italian-American woman who lives in New York with her mother and her father and her grandfather. And she's always had really bad luck with love. And I mean bad luck. Like, the first man she married got hit by a bus. And she had such bad luck with love that she kind of keeps like a wall around her heart. Even though she's seeing Danny Aiello's character and they're in a relationship and he proposes to her, she keeps everything low-key, low maintenance. She doesn't want to make a fuss about anything because the last time she did, her husband got hit by a bus. So anyway, Danny Aiello's character, he's also Italian-American. His mother, though, lives in Italy, and she's dying. And so he wants to postpone any really big announcement about their wedding until he can go to his till his mother dies. So he's going to Italy to be with her within her last days, and once she dies, he'll come back to New York and they can get married. And that's another thing. Loretta, that's Cher's character's name. Loretta's totally fine with that. She already wants to keep things low key. She just wants to get married at the courthouse. Fuck it. Danny Aiello's character tells her as he's getting on the plane, the one thing I do want for our wedding, for when we get married, is for my younger brother, Johnny. Johnny. I want my younger brother Johnny, played by Nick Cage, to come to the wedding. If you can get him to come, that would be that would be amazing. It'll be the best thing on the planet. I will love you for forever, to eternity, from the moon here and back, if you can get him to come. And she's just like, okay. So and she knows that they had a falling out, and that's why they don't talk. But she makes it a point to go to the bakery he works at to try and talk to him to get him to come to the wedding. And he's just like, no. And he's got the most ridiculous vendetta against his brother. It's so stupid. She goes to the bakery where he works to try and convince him to come to the wedding. He refuses. They get into a fight, but she won't leave him alone about it. And they end up connecting through, these really deep, heartfelt conversations that they're having. So they're having these deep, heartfelt conversations, and then they get into this very intense fight about it, because she's insistent that he's being stupid, and he's insistent that she's being stupid just by even marrying his brother, because his brother's an idiot, and yada yada yada. And in their whole "I hate you, fuck you," they end up making out and having sex, and the movie takes off from there. It takes off from there because he immediately is over whatever past trauma he has, because he is just in love with Loretta and wants her. And Loretta has, like I said, she has made her life dispassionate because she had suffered such a tragedy early, in her younger years. And Nick Cage's character, Johnny, has just awakened this thing in her that makes her realize that she's sexy, she's beautiful, and she needs to be desired and wanted. And that love isn't just getting along with somebody. It's also a deep intensity that needs to be there. There needs to be passion, and she has that with Johnny. And so, wait, is it Johnny or Ronnie? What is wrong with me? Oh my god, it's Johnny or Ronnie. Anyway, I could have sworn oh fuck. Anyway. My second favorite romantic movie of all time, and I'm getting one of the main characters' names wrong. So, she discovers that part of herself with him, but it also terrifies and frightens her, because she's just kind of like, I thought I buried this part of me. And then on top of that, she is engaged to his brother to get married. So she's just like, what am I supposed to do? I slept with my fiance's brother, who I'm also having really intense, deep feelings for, and he won't leave me alone, because he's just like, nah, bitch, you're mine now. I love it. It's hilarious. It's funny. Cher deserved her flowers, her Oscars for that movie. It's just so good. I love it. Nick Cage is great in it. Watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. And yes, I know I've seen it a million times. I have, and I can't remember. I'm really super embarrassed. As I get older, my memory gets worse, but I'm super embarrassed that I can't remember if Nick Cage's character's name is Johnny or Ronnie. I think it's Ronnie now. Fuck. I've got 5 honorable mentions I'm going to run through really quick, okay? The first one being Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Another film I have on here is About Time, with Rachel McAdams and Domhnall Gleeson. Another honorable mention is 500 Days of Summer. Next honorable mention is The Adjustment Bureau. And the last honorable mention is The Best Man. The number one on this list of my favorite romantic films of all time, is the film Now Voyager with Bette Davis. It is fantastic. So Bette Davis plays this frumpy, shy, anxiety-ridden spinster. The therapist thinks that a good thing for her to do would be to, get away, become this whole new person, and embrace a new identity, and not necessarily literally, but like in a slightly figurative sense. The father and the daughter are on this trip. They meet Bette Davis's character after she's just reinvented herself and become this glorious, glamorous, wonderful human being now, who still has her moments of anxiety and fear, but like it doesn't rule her life anymore. And she falls in love with the husband, and he falls in love with her. And the whole question is whether or not he's willing to leave his wife to be with her. And he definitely wants to, and he knows that she'll be a better mother to his daughter than her actual mother. It's so good. It's so good. I fucking love it. It's one of my all-time favorite films. It's one of my all-time favorite romantic films. I absolutely love it. Again, TC Turner Classic Movies. It's on HBO Max. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Anyway, that'll do it. That is my top 10 and 5 honorable mentions of my favorite romantic films of all time. Thank you so much for being here with me and listening to me ramble about these films and saying how much I love something 1,000 times and, giving very long and drawn out summaries of these films and quite possibly spoiling some of them. I do apologize. Anyway, wash your hands, wash your face, moisturize. Please take care of your feet. That's extremely important. Get vaccinated, get your booster shot, and I love you. I love you very much. Stay safe. Have a good night.